Good morning, you guys. So today we are going to have a chicken stew for dinner, and I'm going to do it in the crock pot, which I've never done before, but it ended up turning out actually pretty good. I am going to do biscuits in the oven. So originally this recipe is supposed to be made partially on the stovetop, and then you bake it off with the biscuits in the stew. I'm just not going to do that. I'm trying to find simpler, quicker ways of doing the cooking. Excuse me, guys. And so
Remember exact measurements as always.
I had to include that. That was too funny. Anyway, and so in the realm of trying to keep things simple, especially when you've got stuff going on, this is how I'm going to do it. This was the first time I've tried it in the crock pot, and I say it was a success. So what I'm doing is adding 2 chicken breasts, chicken bouillon, frozen peas and carrots, and some red onion. It is a fairly simple dish. I'm going to just add some water to this and let it cook for a while. And then I wanted to put in evaporated milk because it seems to work in the crock pot better, and you can put it in the beginning, but it isn't something I always have on hand. So if you watched the videos of me transferring all of my containers, this is just one of them. I had 2 big boxes of, you guys, I don't know what's up with my throat today. Anyway, I had 2 big boxes of granola, and technically I have 3. I have 1 hidden upstairs because my blood sugar likes to drop, and I can't eat and not, I can't, words, they're not my friend today. So I have to eat when I take my thyroid medication, and so the granola bar is perfect. So I'm just kind of bebopping, trying to get everything done, knocking out all of the laundry. There wasn't a lot, but there was enough that I just wanted to kind of get it caught up again. There was 3 or 4 loads, and I'm just kind of seeing what can work. Like, I did transfer, these are the packets, the seasonings for, meat. I put them in a clear one. It saved a little room, nothing much. Just was kind of bored. When you get done with a project, my mind was like, okay, now what? And I've done so much, it's like, okay, yeah, and what? What do you think you're going to continue to do? So I'm just kind of bebopping around and waiting for everything to be done so I can pull the chicken out and shred it. also getting that done. That is something I am really bad about, is having the extra stuff and not putting it. If you guys have watched me, that is my biggest complaint, and I do it to myself every time. Even when I was switching everything, I was not thinking there's a basket in my cabinet that I need to look into and see what's in there. I know there's the extra beef bouillon, but because we went to a smaller container, there wasn't room, and it's just kind of being accountable for myself is my issue. Is I never double check on myself. I just assume that I have, and guess what? I am not perfect. Seems to be better in the crock pot, and I'm just going to use dry milk because we need to go buy milk. These boys just live on it, I swear. I should have mixed it with water. It had a little bit of an issue incorporating. It did. It was just taking a little bit of time. So heads up if you want to use dry milk in a recipe and it's already excuse me, cooked. Now I have the hiccups. Just mix it with some cold water first, then dump it in. And that is what I'm doing here with the chicken, is I've already taken it out. It's been in it long enough to where it just fell apart. So everything's done, biscuits are in the oven, and I need to thicken it. It is supposed to be a chicken stew, and so this time I am not doing a roux. I'm just gonna do I believe it's called a slurry, cornstarch and milk. I'm gonna stir it up really good and then mix it in and give it about 10 minutes. It doesn't take too long to thicken, and then we will have dinner. So a little bonus here. I don't know what it is. I'm not a big chocolate person normally. I was craving it tonight. So I'm going to argue with myself for the next 30 minutes and then finally get up. I'm going to make it's called a 1-bowl brownie. It didn't end up being 1 bowl. As you can see right here, that is hot water with eggs, so they are room temperature. There is an egg over there because it called for 3 eggs. Well, I have medium. I don't have large, and so it was just in case, and I bet you I could have done one more, but these did turn out awesome. It is a fairly simple one. This is one I would probably make repeatedly. So what's different is you don't want necessarily softened butter, which is what you use in cookies. Well, this one called for melted butter, then cooled, and so that's what I did. I microwaved it and then I put it in the fridge for a little while. The espresso was a nice touch to it. I did not tell my kids it was in it. I asked them if they liked it first, and actually I think two of my kids don't even know that it was in there. Obviously there was 4 eggs. See? I make things and I don't even know what I'm putting into them. Anyway, I found that the incorporation of white sugar and brown sugar was actually a really nice touch. They were gooey but not like sticky. I probably would have backed off of some of the chocolate chips, but like I have said in the past, I like to make it the first time the way they suggest, and then after that, I'm just going to tweak it because I think the next time I make it, I am going to add caramel to it. So I think for me, the chocolate chips they have you put in the batter would have probably been good enough. So I didn't even use the amount or near the amount they call for this recipe, but it still turned out good. Just a little much. I ended up having one. Oh no, I had two. Had one the night I made these because you want them to cool completely, so I popped mine in the fridge so they set up, because I'm sure if they were, warm, they would be like really gooey. But the next day I had a smaller one because the first one was just too much for me. I did find stirring this up and getting everything scraped off the bottom, and it is such a thick batter that maybe that extra egg would have been beneficial, but getting all of the powder off the bottom is what took us the longest part of this recipe because everything was just a throw in a bowl and go. The recipe did recommend using the parchment paper, and they were correct. That was probably the easiest way to get them out. So now that they've been in the fridge for a little while, they are definitely set up quite a bit, and I'm just going to serve everyone up a brownie. I had some milk with mine, and it was just amazing. Thank you guys for putting up with me another day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you.